You guys can see now, right? Okay, let's start again. Serve. Serve who wholeheartedly as if you are serving the Lord and not people. Whole. If you create laws but fail to apply them according to the will of the Lord, who considers the needs of all, you walk along dangerous abyss carved by your own misguided creations without receiving the blessings of your noble mission in serve to society. If you manage to lead but ignore the interests of the Lord along the path where you act as a steward of life, you risk burying your heart beneath selfish desires without enjoying the true blessings of the role entrusted to you in public service. If you judge others without seeking inspiration from the Lord, who knows every detail and circumstances behind each soul and every unfolding process of life, you may one day fall dramatically into the very same path upon which you hastily condemn others, failing to gain wisdom that justice intends to awaken within you. If you work with paint or marble, with words of music, but not express through your creations the integrity, love, and light of the Lord, you carry the heavy responsibility of placing harmful images into the mind of humanity, losing the spiritual beauty meant to enrich your soul. If you have been called to serve through obedience and dedication in building a better world, but do so without understanding the Lord, who helps all beings through love, even to the point of personal sacrifice, you may find yourself surrounded by discouragement and inner disorder, without allowing the divine light of your own gifts to shine through your hands. Friend, life on earth is a sacred school. Work is always a teacher of growth and transformation. Let us serve without attachment. In every corner of human experience, there are opportunities for action, learning, and spiritual progress for those willing to keep moving forward. Let us serve, whatever we may be, with goodwill, as if serving the Lord and not merely people, and the Lord will guide us toward the highest peaks of life. So let's walk through this text. It's very deep, some of his affirmation, even the part that says like that Jesus sacrificed himself, and I go, oh my God. So we know we don't need to go to a cross like Christ, to serve the people. But we're gonna walk through that. Okay, so serve wholeheartedly as if you are serving the Lord and not people. At first glance, this may sound like a religious recommendation direct only toward the spiritual workers or religious leaders, but it's not. When we look deeper, we realize that teachings apply to every human being because all of us serve. Some serve through leadership, others through art, others through education, healing, administration, parenting, friendship, listening, or simple acts of kindness. They're not simple at all, but let's keep that way. Every day, in countless ways, we are invited to contribute to life around us. So everything that we do every day is part of our journey. Everything that we do, it's important. Everything that we do is towards serving someone, serving some greater goodness, serving, your community. The work that you do, serve a community, therefore move the wheels to grow that industry, and so on and so on and so on. So everything that we do in our lives is part of a service, is part of this journey of our spiritual, not awakening, but our spiritual journey, because we are here to learn a profession, and when I say profession, that's everything. Like, not necessarily going to uni and get a degree. Some people are serving to be a great mom, like Yvonne, to dedicate her life to her family, to help Colleen through this journey. Some dedicate their life and their educations, like Lulu, who is getting her doctorate, learning about history. So getting her studies, getting deep in our history and get some break of good of news in a sense, to clarify our history so we can understand our past to be better for our future. So everything that we do is part of a big plan, I would say, from God, if you like to put that way. There is importance. So every little person is it's a little important piece of this big puzzle that is this beautiful universe created by God. So in Spiritism, teach us something beautiful. There is no small task. Someone raised their hand. Or is someone trying to join the meeting? 1 second. Sorry, peeps. Admit me on guest. Angela. Cool.
We miss your face, Alex. Where are you?
He's just blurry in the background. Hi, Angela. So, in Spiritism, teaches us something beautiful. There is no small task when love is involved. A person who comforts someone in pain may be doing more spiritual good than someone is speaking through thousands without compassion. Maybe sometimes I thought to myself, like, we have just this small little group here, and maybe it's not a comparison, but like, if you look at the other bigger groups with more people, and I say, oh my God, maybe we could be doing more. But after reading this and coming through the senses of getting this presentation going on, I say, you know what? Maybe a little group is what we need. It's what is important for us, and it's doing good for us in the hearts that are present here. So that's okay. And it's pretty much relates to this phrase: one person comforts someone in pain, like on this sense, like we, exchange every week. Maybe you're doing more, and it's not comparing that we're doing more than others, but in a sense, it's like it's good for us. We don't need more than that. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to compare that we're doing more and better, or they're doing more and better. It's just in a sense that this is enough. This is what we need now. Then if we're doing we're just doing these lectures here for thousands of people, because it's love involved here. It's care, it's kindness. We know each other, even though we're just linked through the screen, like we are present here on this moment. So what truly matters is not visibility, is the intention. So this is the intention that we carry when we come to these meetings every week. Cool. Oop. So sometimes I'm not saying we. When I say we, is like people, not necessarily we here on this group, all right? So sometimes we imagine that spiritual evolution depends on this extraordinary missions, and it's not. But often, evolution begins with ordinary kindness. So evolution begins with ordinary, meetings just like us, that we are here every week. We share, we laugh, we reflect, we discuss, we disagree. It's ordinary day-to-day life that we are doing here. But it's evolution. That is great. That is greatness in that as well. Because those simple meetings that we do every week help us to improve ourselves and, plant a little seed in our hearts that's going to flourish at some point in our life. Maybe, hopefully, in the future, we're going to be going through situations that we remember what we discuss, and that's when that little seed's gonna flourish in our hearts. I think I'm just lost a bit on I'm lost on my notes. I'm sorry. So, and when I say that, like, just those little things that we do that will help us to improve. And it's not about as I said on the latest slide, about visibility, but it's about how we feel. And most importantly, only God sees the whole thing. Only God sees our heart to understand our intentions towards what we are planning to do or what we do every day. Let me just go here. Oh yeah, I was way too ahead of my slides against my text. Sorry. So spiritism, backtracking again because I went too far there and forgot to get my notes here. Sorry. So spiritism constantly invite us to uh, replace judgment without understanding. When we come across those situations, when we compare ourselves and we think, ah, that's not going to be enough, that's not good enough, um, but because many times we think services only happens in grand gestures, and they don't. I already had said that. Um, we do that through small choices that we do every day. So the way that we speak, the patience we offer, as I usually say, I'm working that very, very heavily every day. The honesty that we maintain when nobody's is watching, the respect we show people when they cannot give anything in return. This is service too. Sometimes we imagine that spiritual evolution depends on extraordinary missions, as I already said, but often evolution begins with ordinary kindness. Now I catch up with my note and my slides. So answering with greatness instead of aggression, helping without expecting recognition, remaining ethical when dishonesty would be easier, listening when someone desperate needs to be heard. These moments shape ourselves, can help shape who we are, and who we want to be, when we practice those little things in our lives. And it can be like full of examples of that. It's just a little bit of things that I put here on the test. Okay. So work, as spiritism brings to us, it's can be a synonym of opportunity. Work develops our intelligence, and when I say work, is that work that I said on the beginning. It's what you do, not necessarily something that you need a uh, uni degree. It's who you are. It's being a mom, it's being a student, it's being like, someone that works so hard in their life that earn themselves like a retirement, you know in life. It's someone that is halfway there through my work in, business, and my work here on the spirit group. So work as it is, like who you are, like what you do, what is involved and in your life. So work develops our intelligence, our discipline, our resilience, empathy, and responsibility. Whether someone, is a teacher, cleaning engineer, a parent, doesn't matter. Honest work on what you do is the path of our spiritual growth, you know. But the question is, what energy we are putting into what we do. So what energy you put on your everyday when you go to work or when you're looking after your family? What's the energy and time you're putting towards that? Because one thing is, two people can perform exactly the same work with completely different outcomes. You know that say when, like, if you get two people and give them the receipt, like a receipt, a recipe, sorry, a recipe, the same ingredients, same ingredients, and two people, those two people will follow the recipe uh, by the, how do I say in English, by the letter. But there is another say in English when you do something very, following step by step. But you know what I'm trying to say here, okay? So, and they follow these steps to
The
the
book.
to the book. No, there's something else. But anyways, you get it. What I'm saying here. The let's just pretend that's a cake. Okay? Same ingredients, two different persons. They follow the recipe by the book, step by step. The final product will be different. You know why? Because the energy, the love, the care that the person's put on it. Let's just pretend one person care about what she's doing. It's present there. Know that they're doing a cake for their family, so someone could come for a coffee, and the other person is just doing for the sake of doing it. The outcome, the final product, the two cakes will be completely different. So the same is with the work that we do. You can have two people doing the same job, but if the energy, the love, the care, is not there, the outcome is going to be different. So we have to think about that when we're doing a work. And I'm not saying work is perfect. Like, just talking on the, I'll give you the floor soon, Colleen. Um, that work is not have those due days, days that things are boring. Like, it's fine. It's life, it's ups and down. But if our heart on the general way is on a good place, like, you understand that work, it's what allows you to pay your mortgage, to put food on your table, to keep you warm on winter days, to allow you to have entertainment. So, it's a blessing. So we do have to keep the mindset that work is a blessing, and when we are at work, we do our best, and either can be on like work as work, no 9 to 5, when we're doing our work inside of our family, and so on. Go on, girls.
It is a random contribution, but there is a fabulous fable, a book entitled Like Water for Chocolate. Have you heard of that?
No.
It is a great book. I think it is Mexican, by a Mexican author. But the youngest daughter, it is a fable, so it is hilarious. But the youngest daughter has been allocated the role of looking after the parents, and so she is not able to get married. But she is relegated to the kitchen in her youth, in her childhood, and looked after by the nanny, the cook. And she learns about cooking, and she learns about the intricacies of putting love into everything that she does in the kitchen. And the effects, of course, are hilarious, because through her food, she seduces everyone. Everyone is swept up by not the taste, it is extraordinary, but by the aromas, by the essence of her love that she imbues into every action in the kitchen. Yes, it is a great book, and it is also a movie. Yes,
Wow.
Like Water for Chocolate. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But it comes to mind because it is something so basic, and yet it is extraordinary, the amount of, yes, the what love draws out in each of the characters because of her food. Yes. Yes.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, maybe send that on the group chat so we can check up later. Otherwise, we're gonna forget the name. So yeah, so on that sense, and if you reflect that on nowadays, on the modern life that we live, it can be like a challenging per se, because our society today, it really encourage us visibility more than sincerity in what we do, um especially with like social medias and everything, like you have to excel, we have to show that you're the better, you're the best, and so on and so on. And it's not about that, it's in the sincerity of what we do. And because it's sad to say that some people are often thought and ask, how can I be admired to performing my work that way, instead of how can I be useful doing this? What will be useful, would be good if I act this way towards my work, you know instead of, oh, who's gonna tell me, oh, good job later on, I'm doing this because I'm expecting, a thumbs up and say good job and a pat in the head. So it's those are questions you have to keep in mind when we are performing our work, every day. It doesn't matter what area of your life your work it's involved. And the gospel invites us towards that direction, because Jesus himself gave the ultimatum example of service. He healed, he listened, he comforted, he taught, but perhaps the most importantly, he served without demanding superiority. Even possessing immense spiritual authority, because he's way more mature in spiritual, like if you consider like levels of maturity of our soul, because he's our example to be followed, as we already talked here so many times. He approached people with humility. So, how he did that? He washed the feet of the apostles. He embraced and forgot the forgotten. He spoke to those that society reject. So those are just some of the beautiful examples that Jesus approached with humility, those that were often forgotten. And through his example, he showed the true greatness of is inseparable from love. Sometimes we become tired while serving others. As I said in the beginning, it's not every day a perfect day, or and like we don't have to pretend to wear like pink glasses. Is that what you say when you wanted to see everything as beautiful? Is that the say in English?
Rose-colored glasses.
Rose color glasses. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. And we know, like, some days it's just hot. And that's the reality. But and it's natural, it's part of life, because like those those moments of frustrations, they're also important as well, same as if you look as a child. And that's a perfect example. We sometimes we have to go through moments of frustrations, of um sadness, and things like that, to build our character, to build our resilience, to put a stop to a moment and reflect what's going on. Even those moments are very, very important to help to grow and mold who we are. So and it's natural, because sometimes we are feel emotionally exhausted from work, responsibilities, financial pressures, disappointment, heaviness of whatever is going on in life. But it's important to clarify that serving does not mean destroying yourself. Of course, Jesus gave the ultimate example, as his self-sacrifice in the cross for us. But that doesn't mean you have to self-sacrifice, in a cruise on an explicit example. Our spiritual life requires balance, requires rest, prayer, emotional care, and health boundaries. Do you know when you fly, when the flight attendant is going through the safety, drills that they have to go through, and then if you pay attention, you know that when they say, if in the case of the masks needs to fall from the what?
The oxygen mask.
The oxygen just falls, you have to put yourself first, so you're able to look after someone else. So when we are talking about serving on this sense, to serve society and all and so on, and serving others, that needs to be taken to consideration as well. Because if we are overworked, emotionally incapable of doing that, we don't have healthy boundaries. We are not able to serve and look after others. So we don't have to self-sacrifice ourselves, to be and we don't have to self-sacrifice ourselves to be able to look after others. Sometimes we need to look after ourselves first. So if you're not healthy, if you're not feeling good, we are not going to be able to look after someone else in a sense of serve someone else. So I think that's important to say, because sometimes that's what most times some people burn themselves up when they're doing too much without looking at themselves first. Our first responsibility sometimes is within ourselves. So remember to look after yourself as well. If you're not feeling okay, it's all right. It's good. It's okay to take a day to rest, to sulk, to maybe cry, but because it's important to look after yourselves and serve yourself, look after yourself, so you're capable to perform, to serve others. Okay, so keep that in mind. Remember to always wear the oxygen mask on you first, so you're able to look after someone else. So the very important um, flight safety rule that applies really well on our everyday life. All right. Um, yeah, because sometimes other point here, it's a word that Jackson loves it. And we always make fun of him in a good sense. That is the attachment. And one phrase on the text say, serve without attachment. So when I was, thinking and Googling and going through one, I said, well, what that means, And I said, oh, that's very profound. Because many times we suffer not because we served, but because we expect to control over the results. You know, we help and expect gratitude. We give affection and expect immediate understanding. We dedicate ourselves and expect recognition. But true service release the need of ownership. So is that thing from God, from Jesus, like don't let your right hand see what your left hand is doing or something like that. So it's about it. You do it because it's the right thing to do and do without waiting anything in return, you know, because okay, that's the last one. Sorry. Because we plant seeds and life will determine when they bloom. So we just, you plant the seed, you do the deed, you do the good, and let it go without attachment. So we plant the seeds, and life will take care of when they should bloom. Okay? Sometimes the good that we do today may only be fruit, we may only see the good fruits of it years later, you know, perhaps in someone's memory, perhaps in a future opportunity, or even perhaps in a spirituality, beyond what we can currently see. But one thing you can be sure, no act of sincerity, goodness, it's ever lost. And the Spiritism teaches us that every gesture of love creates a spiritual movement. It's the butterfly effect of doing something good. So you do because it's the right thing to do, and the rest is with God. You plant the seed and put on God's hands, and that plant will flourish when it's the time. And it doesn't matter when or how, but it's important that you did your part. You did like what was right at that moment. So nothing disappears. And I think that gives us hope. So because it kind of release, that's another word that's calling, like that word, release ourselves. Release ourselves, because you just do what you have to do, and the rest is with God, between you and God. And you don't want to know, you let it go, and whatever it's yours is going to find a way to you. And whatever is important to that person that was on your path will find a way to them as well. So you do your part, and the rest is with the creator. Let him take care, release the control, release the attachment, and let it go. Just let it be, and the thing's gonna fall in place when is the right time for that to happen. And the reason that gives us hope, because sometimes the word can be harsh and cold, and when we choose kindness, help to illuminate, the world that we live, help to put a little bit of light out in the darkness, and the little light that you put out there, for sure it's helping someone to see there is a way, there is a light, there is like a point to go and to follow. Maybe we don't understand now, but for sure we will understand one day. All right. So that's why service matters. So that's why everything that we do, we should do with the good intention in our hearts. And even though sometimes you're not in a really right space of mind to have all the love involved on everything you're doing, just do it because it's the right way to do it, because we have responsibility. So needs to be done, needs to be done. So put the intention there, because service matter. Not because it makes us important, but because it allows love to move through us. And I thought that was beautiful, that phrase that I found. I never thought about that way. It's important because allow love to move through us, because every work that we do, it helps this world and keep spinning and the things moving. And the thing is, when we get to the spiritual world, when we finish our our school here on earth, on this incarnate life, when we go to the spiritual realm, the question that will be asked, then I'm not sure is that question is a question a yes or no, so you can in or not. But in a sense, is not about how much we achieve, but it's how much love did I place on what I did. And I think that's very important. It's not about what you do, but how about the love do you put on what you did. You know what I mean? So it's about the intention that we spoke in the beginning. So if your heart and your intention is on the right place, it's not about what you achieve, but what you try. And you try and you did your best. So that's what I like to believe. And I think it's very comforting that Spiritism brings that message for us, that is about the true intentions is what matter for us. If your heart is on the right place, everything's okay. If you put love towards what you do, it's okay. Maybe the result is not what you're expecting, but again, you plant the seeds and the rest is with God. You did your best with what we have, what you have, and the rest is with God. There are things that are outside of our control. And we have to have faith and trust that everything is going to be good and everything is going to be okay. And you did your best with what we have in your hands. And it's all good. Even though sometimes hurt, sometimes, it maybe it's not the best, but intention is there. So that's what's important. So, the last slide is, no matter where life has placed us, we can serve at home, at work, among friends, in difficult situations, in moments of abundance, and even in moments of pain. We can always choose to become instruments of peace instead of conflict, understanding instead of judgment, hope instead of discouragement. And when we serve with goodwill, as Paul taught us, we slowly discover that service does not diminish the soul, it transforms it. So that is the message tonight. So when you're serving with love, serve with your intention in love, because that is the most important thing. And doesn't matter what you do, small act, big act, it doesn't matter. What it's important is the love and the intention you put on what you're doing it, that then you're planting that little seed, and then you do the detachment, you release, you let it go, and then God takes the wheel. There's Carrie Underwood's song that say, Jesus takes the wheel. So, it's pretty much that. You did your part, and the rest of the big guy up there in here, whatever you want to, understand where he is present. So the rest is with them, with him. I mean, with JC, God, our mentors. So let them take the wheel. You do your part, and the rest take care of themselves, of itself. So that's the message tonight. Let's serve. Let's serve with love, with kindness, and the rest is just the rest. If you do your part, the rest will happen. So this is me for tonight, guys. Any questions? Any comments?
It's die.
No? Oh, good. Oh, good. Oh, good. Oh, good.
It is always such a simple message, isn't it?
Yeah.
So simple. Intention before we act, the intent is energized. So even before we act, the intent has already been released into the world. And so energetically, others are affected. And so often it is found when we do things without the intent of love, uh, those that receive will not receive with graciousness often. Often it has already been communicated that you are doing it from a place that is either agitated or self-aggrandizing or whatever it is. Yes, the intent itself is has been given light. Yes, that is being given flight. Sorry. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes. It is not just God or the universe. Yes, it is already released into the world. So yes, even though we think no one knows what we are thinking, energetically, everyone gets it.
Yeah. The feel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Great. Thank you always, Di.
No, my pleasure. My pleasure to have the opportunity to serve. you know, because it's
Brilliant.
not about me presenting here, it's about reading the text, reflecting. So actually, in a way, I am getting more than what I'm presenting, because it's made myself look inside about the way that I serve. You know, but and that's important as well. Anyone
Thanks
else?
for serving, Di.
My pleasure. Ah, so if that's the comments for tonight, I just would like to invite you guys to have the final prayer so we can,
You can you can serve us with a good prayer now.
now we're gonna serve others. I would invite you so we can serve others. So because now we are here on the same energy, with our hearts connected. So let's us serve others that may not have that energy around them, and send our love to those. So I invite you to, close your eyes if you wish to do so. And with this feeling of gratitude, of service in our hearts, we are grateful, dear Lord, dear Father, Creator, Mother. We are grateful for the opportunity to be here tonight, to be surrounded by love, by our mentors, by our spiritual friends that come along on this journey every week to, just like us, learn, share, you know, and take these teachings to help to develop their spiritual journey, same as us. And we are very, very thankful for this opportunity to have our hearts fulfilled with joy, happiness, knowledge, wisdom, the care that you put in every meeting that you guys are present with us. And taking into account the message of tonight of serve, we would like to spread this love towards those that may not have that today. You know, you are all powerful. You are all knowledge, dear God. And you know the hearts that are in need of that love, of that light. So we are giving. We are giving back. We are spreading the love, the light, this feeling of, comfort that you gave us every day. So let that light found the hearts of those that are in need of this feeling of love, in need to be heard, in need to have a hug, in need of have a plate of food, in need of having, you know, comfortable clothes to keep warm on this cold weather. You know the souls that are in need. And we are here to share the love with them, so they may find comfort in knowing that they are loved and that they are important and they matter. And with this feeling of gratitude, of service, not because we have to, but because we want to, because if we serve through love, we grow in a sense that we evolved and we receive back. We receive back love. We receive back light. It's a circle of life. So let's keep that in mind. Let's keep sharing, keep working, and keep serving. Let us all have a great and blessed week until we meet again. So be it. Thank you, guys. Amen.
Thank you. Thanks, Ty.
Thank
Everyone,
you.
guys, a great weekend, great week. See you in 2 weeks' time.
Yes, and next week is
Alex,
Alex.
Alex.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh,
don't forget to record so I can see Alex.
Yes, I will. Oh, and
You won't, so you're not good. Yeah.
what? I will be here next week.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah, I won't be here
True.
in 2 weeks' time, but I will probably have to change with you as well because my next meeting is on the 23rd of June. I was just going to be returned from my trip, so I'm probably not going to have time to do it, but I'll fix that out. I have to go to Chile to work for a week, and then I was just going to jump very quickly in Brazil for another week and then come back to Australia. So,
nice.
yeah, I will be out from 2 weeks from the
They-
7th
they-
to the 22nd.
Take your computer and join us in Spanish.
Yeah, well, I'm taking my computer, but it's just probably the time and I probably won't happen because on Chile we'll be working all day. We have like an expo to do it, so we'll be working on the expo the whole day, and then we have take clients to dinner and all of that. So I probably won't be able to join. And then in Brazil, I will be only 6 days in Brazil, so it will be very very fast, rushed visit, and I should be back on the 22nd. And then in theory, I have a presentation on the 23rd that most likely I won't be able to do it. So Alex probably will take the wheels on that day. But yeah, but I will be here next week before I go. So I hope to see you guys next week. Okay.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Have a
Have a
good
great
week,
day.
guys.
Bye bye.
Bye.